Hi, this is Judy with Peterson Publishing and Media, and I wanted to talk to you today about the situation that we're currently in. As business owners, we are sitting here waiting, and winter isn't coming, it's here. We don't know what's going to be happening in the near future. Things are starting to open up. Some states are open. Texas is open for 25% for a lot of businesses. Some businesses are not open yet. On Friday in Texas, we're supposed to find out if we get to phase two. And phase two is moving most businesses up to 50% open and up to some of the businesses opening at all. And so we're at the point where we need to take a look and evaluate our business. 6 weeks ago, I'd have said a little bit different. I'd have been more optimistic, I believe, because I found out that the businesses that I thought were going to be just fine apparently were not as stable as I thought they were. There were a lot of businesses on a cliff that we had no idea, didn't realize that Neiman Marcus was going to go under. That is not one that I would have called. What can we do? We are at a point where we can't look at past performance. Our metrics from even 8 weeks ago are pretty much useless. So many people have lost their jobs and unemployment has skyrocketed. Now, some of them will get them back because a lot of those people were parts of retail or restaurant situations, but there were a lot of people who were not. Every day I'm on LinkedIn and I see people, hey, this has been a good run with XYZ company and I'm looking for a new opportunity. That's just something that I hadn't counted on 6 weeks ago. I'm sure nobody else had either. This was the best economy in, decades. We can't use our metrics from the past to tell us where we're going. So my suggestion is to use this time when we're at a lower business level. I know we're freaking out because it's been so long since we've been in business and we need to get some money coming in and some clients coming in. But the best way to do that is to take a look at the current situation and prepare. We need to take a look at our product or service line. We need to take a look and see, okay, what is going to be useful in the next 90 days. Just take a 90-day snapshot and say, okay, these things are probably not going to work. We're not going to be able to do whatever it is because those people don't have any money. When I was in the magazine business, I would not be going to the people who are trying to sell birthday parties because they haven't had a birthday party in 3 months. Sadly to say, you got to go where the people that have income still are. So whatever your product or service is, try and make it so that it is appealing to those people that are still working. You need to become streamlined and lean, cut the fat, cut off anything that isn't really serving you or you don't think is going to serve you in the next 90 days. If you've got things that are nice to have, that's great, but I would concentrate on the services that are high sellers, high business makers that you can expect to, if you were to do some advertising on Facebook or something like that, that people would be like, oh yeah, I want that, I need that, I still need a haircut. That's one of those things that everybody's wanting to have certain things, and you need to make sure that your targeting for your business is doing something that people are going to want. You need to go back to the beginning of when you started and you were a lean, mean selling machine and you were ready to get this show on the road. You didn't have a huge budget. You hadn't had a lot of sales. You didn't have a lot of social proof because it was new. And you need to just look at your business and say, okay, this is brand new. This is a new economy. Yes, it hasn't been that long since I was doing very well. However, we don't know what's going to come up in the next 90 days. So make sure that whatever you do is the best of your product line, the best of your services. And I would test, I would ask people, what do you think is the best thing that I do? Because those people will be able to tell you, and you may not realize that it's your best. Personally, I would go back and look at my figures from the last couple of years and see what's the best sellers. I would probably stick with those, even though we really can't say, okay, I'm going to be able to close XYZ, because we don't know what the closing rates are going to be. We do know what's popular, and that probably hasn't changed all that much, except for if it was aimed at somebody who is going to be unemployed now. Take some of those customers that were really good people that are still working with you probably, and duplicate those. Find people who are just like them. Maybe even ask those people for referrals, because those are the things that are going to get people the most business right as they start up. And that's really what we need. We're, at 25%, who can you talk to that's going to give you the most? Who can you talk to at 50% as you grow this thing again? And what's going to happen is, as you grow, this is going to become a stronger, more vibrant business, because you cut out the things that weren't working. You had a chance to stop and look at your business and work on the business instead of just seriously just working in the business. Because so many times a small business is just literally paycheck to paycheck or hand to mouth, trying to figure things out, and doesn't have time to stop and consider what the best is for the future. And they don't have time to come up with new ideas. Now is the time to really sit down and say, okay, we are in the 21st century. Right now, most of us, 75%, is going to be online, and 25% is not once they open. If you're not open, then everything's online. So try and find yourself something that's an online product or an online service or an online way to reach people to get them to hire you. People who are doing things like pressure washing and garage door installation and fixing things around the house. Those are not people that can work remotely. They have to go to somebody's house to do those things. They can reach people online. And right now, those are considered essential. So, because they're construction, most of them. So they're doing okay. But again, a lot of people are unemployed. So the market is smaller. So what you want to do is you want to sit down and figure out, okay, what can I do? And everybody wants to help other people. So if you can figure out a way to do it for less expensive, but still get out there and do stuff, you're bringing money in, and that gives you money to expand later. It gives you goodwill among people that are hurting right now. And so those things are something to consider when you're trying to come up with a new streamlined business model, business plan for yourself. That's what I suggest you do right now. Get yourself some paper and a pen and write down ideas, brainstorm, get those things onto the paper and start working on them one by one. This time right here, it's really easy to give up. It's really easy to get really, really depressed. And I have been there. There are days when I wake up crying. There are days when I go to sleep crying. Those are things that we have to go through and let them out, but we can't live in that. We have to get motivated. We have to get excited about what's coming, and we have to make sure that our businesses are some of those that survive. And to be honest with you, if they survive during this time, when times are good, they're going to thrive. So keep that in mind. Make sure that you are using this time wisely and not sitting there watching television. I know most of you are probably not, but it's real easy to get sucked into Facebook or TikTok or Instagram and just spend hours doing that, and it gets nothing done. And to be honest with you, there's so much bad news out there that it's just depressing. So make sure that you put good stuff in your brain. There are tons of books that you could be reading that will put positive things into your head that you can use later. Go on Audible and get some of those. And while you're doing something mindless like washing the dishes or something like that, you can be listening to these audiobooks. I try and listen to an hour a day of a book so that during this time, it gives me inspiration to do new things and exciting things. It gives me inspiration to put these videos to y'all. And that's something that I really feel like is necessary for a business that is in hard times, to make sure that they get good information coming in and that they do something that's going to help them in the long run. Get out there, disrupt your market, get your business on track, get it going, and let's get this country back where it was, and let's get our businesses to be exceptional. Thanks. Bye.